All right, guys, now that we've got this GT500 all loaded up, it's time to bring this vehicle over to a familiar face. And if you guys have watched our videos in the past, you'll know we're bringing this vehicle over to Mike. And Mike is not only a GT Shelby expert, but also a collector as well as our mechanic. So we're gonna bring this car over to him, see what he thinks about it, have him go through everything. I mean, we've gone through a few things that we can let him know that we saw, but more or less get an idea of what we got to do to get this car mechanically safe, go through the carburetors, do some tune-ups and stuff like that, and, you know, really see what he thinks of our Shelby. So we're almost there, guys. Got another 2 hours to drive, but it'll all be worth it. All right, we finally made it here, and we got Mike with us. What's going on, Mike? Long time no see, buddy. How's everything?
Everything's good.
All right, so we got this Shelby here, right behind you. First off, explain a little bit what you do for us here at No Reserve Classics.
Yeah, no problem. Well, basically, whatever you guys ask for, and that mostly consists of, you know, mechanical and cosmetic work to the cars. And with that too, we usually go through and try to verify a lot of the cars too, with the engineering numbers, date stamps, VIN stamps, everything that we could do to really provide a lot more history and originality with the cars.
Yeah, and so you just finished our white one, and now we're here with this green Shelby, man. And have you got a chance to look underneath the hood yet?
Not yet. This will be my first time.
All right, so here she is. So as we know, pretty much all numbers matching, all factory condition. We do know that the carbs are BJ carbs on there. I actually got a chance to look at them today, but overall with the car, you know, we've gone through it, and you know, if you look at the interior, I think it's 38,000 miles, original miles on here, and you can really see. I mean, what do you think about the interior?
Yeah, just initially looking, you could just obviously starting off with that steering wheel. That's usually a pretty good giveaway. And actually looking through the windshield, looking on the back, it has the correct Italy stamp on it.
Yep, I did see that.
So that is the original wheel, and yeah, you can tell with the shift knob and everything, definitely has a little bit of age to that dash cluster. Yeah, everything looks real original on the interior.
Now, one thing I wanted to do while you're here, if you have some time, is the posts. This is to believe to be a very early car, and correct me if I'm wrong, but back then they would cut the rear off. Does that sound right? Cut the rear off of the 4-point harness on there and make it 2 to make it fit correctly.
For which portion of this?
For the roll cage.
You know, I guess that would be something new that I never really explored to this point.
Okay.
But we could definitely look into that.
Yeah. So the story is they have the 4-point harness, and they couldn't fit them in with all the plastics.
Okay.
So they would chop the rear off, and then they left it like that. They never did a redesign until, you know, the later 67s models. And then the 68s. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can tell they're the original belts. They still have the correct.
Yeah. Did you see that? And it still has the Cobra emblem right there in the center too.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Padded roll bar. Yeah, that's all correct.
So that has a plastic coating on there? Or?
Yep,
oh,
you
yeah.
can feel the rubberized coating on it.
I never even knew that.
Yep, absolutely. It's a real thick coating, so it's very hard. You know, it's actually very easy to tell, but very hard to reproduce that again for an aftermarket one.
That's pretty cool. So what are your overall thoughts? What do you think of her?
It's a great color, first of all.
Muddy green, in my opinion.
No, absolutely. You don't see too many of the greens out and about, you know, but, you know, rolling with the stripes down it. Once again, usually dealer or owner installed, however you want to call it, but really sets the car off.
All right, so I'm going to go over with you a few things here on the car. Like I said before, guys, Mike is going to be taking care of all of our mechanic needs on this vehicle. So I'm going to give you, I got a pretty decent list of what needs to be done. Some leaks here. I know we got a fuel issue, carburetor issue, and a few small things that I want you to look at before this baby goes for under the full knife. So absolutely. Once again, Mike, it's nice seeing you again, brother. I'm going to head out and hopefully grab your next car that we have to work on.
Sounds good.
All right, brother. See you soon.
JBK Carbs.
BJBK. What does that mean?
The front one is BJ and the back one's BK. They end. Those are the part of the engineering numbers on it.
Oh, okay. All right, so we found out some really cool things. One, obviously, we knew about the inboard lights, right?
Yep.
And one thing on the side, if you want to show everybody, what is it called, an air vent, or?
Yeah, basically these scoops on the side, on these early cars here, these are actually working air scoops. So inside there, you'll see the indentation, but that's actually a pass-through vent, which comes out in front of this rear tire and passes air through there, and supposed to obviously help with some brake cooling, but more functionality. You know, if it was a disc brake car, but looks wise, you know, it's pretty cool to see that on the early car.
Yeah, I got my light in there now. We're able to see what you're talking about. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I never even noticed that.
Yep.
And you said the easy giveaway is this notch right here. Is this what?
Yeah, that plate right there, you'll know, because obviously you could get aftermarket side scoops, but that's a pretty good giveaway of obviously an original side scoop with that type of mounting system here.
And as you go through the car, I mean, obviously, you know, if you see anything that is pretty cool that you want to bring to our attention, definitely let us know, man.
Yep.
So we have the original numbering here, the Shelby number. We had to drill that out just to verify when we picked this car up in Michigan. So I did drill that out, and you could see it from the inside fender well as well.
Yep, absolutely. And if you notice here, besides this VIN stamp right here, there's a second one right on the edge of this fender. They're usually double stamped right there, and you'll see that second matching original Ford VIN stamp on there.
So they have one stamp that's from Shelby, one stamp that's from Ford.
Correct. The tag on top would be designated by Shelby, and then when it came from Ford factory would be the other one on that inner fender there.
Sweet. I love these cool cars, man. The history on them is just amazing. I really like the background story of where the cars came from, you know, what they've been through, whether it was paint or body or aftermarket parts or even just original, you know. It's the story is really what sells the car, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And this being a 67 was last year that Shelby actually made these coming from their shop, you know, and first year the big block in here, so very desirable car.
Sweet, man. So if you find anything else, you just let me know.
Will do.
All right, bud.
Thanks.
So Austin, what are you doing?
Right now I am cleaning the interior parts that we pulled out of the GT500 67. Trying to make it look as clean as possible. I'm using safe products to try and make sure that we get these seats back to their original glory.
So, I think we've mentioned this before. This is an original trunk mat. It's got like a felt material. It's not like rubber, but it's actual like original. And the reason why we're keeping all these parts and restoring them is they all have stampings, Ford original stampings on every single piece, from the seats down to the door panels, down to the trimmings, down to every little nook and cranny. We're keeping this car as original as possible. We're keeping it back. We're bringing it back to its, you know, former glory. Obviously, when the car's all done, it'll be 10 times better looking. But right now, we have him just restoring, cleaning up, doing a little bit of touch-ups, because these parts today are going to be going back into the car, and hopefully soon we'll get the car back in one piece.
So I'm sitting here in the middle of all these parts. We have them all spread out, laid out on the floor so that we can have them cataloged. We're taking great care with them, making sure we don't do any damage. We just want to get a list of all the parts that we have so that we're more organized when it comes to restoring them. I'm going to be going through every single one of these parts, making sure that they have a picture to coincide with them, and put them on the list. And then I'm going to take care and try and restore them to their original condition. And guys, it's important to understand that none of these parts are aftermarket. They're all original Ford parts that are going right back in that Mustang, which is why we're trying to restore them to their original condition.